Hello and welcome to this space. Welcome. So I'm so excited. I'm going to share a live event space recording with you. So I was just recently in Sedona, Arizona, and I hold a gathering there once a year. And so I was doing that, and this was the closing day of the event space. And it was really powerful, really beautiful, and really beyond words for me to try to describe to you. But if you are into the understanding of yourself as being eons and eons and eons old, that you are an eternal soul having a now in a human experiential space of existence, that you are higher consciousness, expanding, exploring, and allowing its remembrance, then I think you're going to enjoy this space. Thank you for listening with your heart, and thank you for allowing your flow. I've had spaces where I've felt very much in the center of the new field, very much receptive to the new field, aware of the new field, interpreting the new field. And then I've had spaces where I felt as if I was on the outskirts of the new field and I was still very much aware of the old fields, all of the spaces, the differentiations. And this felt like, yes, like there was this surety and peace that was deeper than I had experienced it before. And it made me feel like I didn't need to go get my notepad. I didn't need to go find my phone, that I could just more so stop seeing myself in the eyes interpretation of a relayer of it, and I could land into the communications more of a back and forth instead of received. Does that make sense? Yes. So this was really a good space and a beautiful space to be able to convey it to all, and all to confirm in their own alignment, in their own way. And all of this is still that divine, unified field, expanding outward further. Here's what we're going to do. We're right on time, and we're going to be together till about 11 o'clock. Time has flown, has it not?
Yes, it has.
We've navigated, experienced, and interpreted, and been incredibly large spaces that seem to be outside of time. Yes. And at that same connection point, we were within a construct, a scheduled layout, which is so interesting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. To experience spaces of such vastness that they are not quantifiable by time, or maybe if that's allowed to be said that way, and at the same time acknowledging time. Okay, so I'm not going to go into great detail right this minute, but I do want to bring it in at the beginning of the seal of light. Yes. So the space where we worked with the Divine Union ceremony at the top of Cathedral. So I had taken Dirk's phone because my phone gave it all it had on the way up, and it supported our Zoom call. And so it said, listen, lady, I got nothing for you at this point. So I went to the Divine Masculine and I said, hey, give me your phone. And his phone had a lot left to give. So we took that, and I set it up over there, and I didn't necessarily have a tripod because I'm all for recording and taking photos and documenting because it's important, because there's so much in there that we don't see and pick up on in the moment and or with the physical sight. But I don't want to turn it into that's all it is. So I don't bring massive equipment and haul everything and say, okay, wait, aim it this way. And I just work with what I got. So I try to keep it as organic as possible. But beautifully enough, I put it down, the phone on the rock on the ground. A little rock was there, and I put his phone against it, and I caught the circle. I didn't know for sure. I wasn't going to run around and peek and try to fix it, as I wanted to stay in what we were doing. But it got it. So I'll share that with everybody via the chats as well. But I was able to pull the feed up this morning and get a good look at it. And it's really, really, really beautiful and powerful. And when I was looking at it this morning, yes, it was anchoring in at a deeper level, the understanding of when we closed that space at the top, and then we held circle at the bottom before we walked out. Yes, that was in its self, in its own space, the seal. That was the seal of light. Yes. And what we're doing here today, this morning, is we're sealing like the space itself and thanking all of the connection points involved, seen and unseen, from the first moment you pinged yourselves to this space. So the email was read, or somebody mentioned it to somebody. It's not that we're sealing this back to Friday. Yes. Because stuff already was in motion and happening and aligning and activating. And Tanny even spoke about this when she said that she knew her and Chuck were preparing themselves. Hindsight's 2020, whatever you want to say. But as she stood here yesterday, she said, now I know we were preparing to be that space. So when we seal it today together, this is the seal that is connected to the very first ping where you knew you were going to be in this space, however you're here. Does this make sense to you? Okay. All of those connection points and mindsets and choices, and some of those spaces had to do with trust, leaning in when the reflection might have been saying, I don't know if that's going to go that way. And you chose to hold an alignment. So that's an energetic shift point of your frequency to a higher flow state of you. So when we seal this in light, that space of you, every one of those moments where you got excited, you got grateful, even when you hesitated or held a second of what if, and you shifted, every one of those spaces shifts higher than even the first space you held it. Yes. Because you're at a new space of yourself, a new flow rate of yourself as you're sealing it. You're not who you were when you initiated it. Okay? Is this making sense? Okay. Thank you. Beautiful. All right, let's look at these notes real quick. Okay. Ooh. Yes, so this is nothing new. We've talked about this before, many spaces, but we're new, hearing it now. and we're anchoring it at a deeper level. And when we leave this space and we move into our worlds, the way that our worlds are laid out, yes, we're going to be engaging this information from that new state of being. Yes? Yes. Okay. So we talked about in the course space, we talked about being frequency keepers. Yes. And how we, as the soul consciousness within the format, that space of us, yes, travels, is a perfectly fine word to use. Yes. Travels through dimensional alignments to variation fields, reality lines, earth and beyond, and our soul consciousness takes on form in accordance with where it is, lives an experiential space of itself to gain its own expansion through its exploration, and activates its remembrance as a frequency keeper. And there, in that space of the self where the frequency keeper understanding flows, you begin to then implement in the form you're holding, according to the field you're in, that of a frequency keeper. Yes. So this is important because there's two layers. There's the frequencies of the fields around us. Yes. And we play a role in that. And there's the frequency of your own individual flow. So where do you think you have to start? Good. Home run for everyone that just pointed to their self. So, taking this with you when you go, please. Resetting your personal field frequency. Running a clear frequency. There are many, 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 many frequencies running. Yes. And at any given moment, we can and do register them. Yes. But whether we engage them is whether we run them. So if they are running and you are aware, that's fine. Yes. You have the ability, I have the ability, we have the ability to maintain ours. Yes. And ours is not even what it was. You're processing from a higher plane of your being at this time. You are registering that which is around you different. So even this will be the case. You will read the frequencies of what you've read before, but you won't read them the same way. Certain ones that triggered you will no longer do so, because you will read them from a sense of understanding in which you hold more compassion for the overall unified field and all the roles that are being played for all the spaces to move. Does this make sense to you? So resetting your personal field frequency, check and amplify your root connections, because you're constantly and ever expanding. So you're going to want to sink deeper and activate those roots. And you know how to do it. It's like when Madeline said, oh, we're about to, paraphrasing Madeline, we're about to do ceremony. Okay, this lovely lady's going to ask me to perform ceremony on these beautiful people. I wonder if I know how to do this. Oh, yes, I do know how to do this. Okay, I'm going to do this. And she just did it. And so even the root spaces, like this is the next level. Trust yourself. Run the peace, run the balance, run the understanding of that deep anchoring within you that you are. There's the biggest one, I believe, that will ask you to allow is the attachment spaces. So when the ones closest to you, or even ones you don't know, are in a space in which you don't feel it is optimal, that's not the way you would do the space, or like the space to be, that you are able to allow. And Bonnie brought this in beautifully on Cathedral, as she was seeing others in the group doing things that the maternal maybe in her and the, divine, compassionate love within her only wants goodness for all, and she got nervous for them, and she wanted to say, oh, maybe don't walk there, or oh, maybe go closer to that wall. And she was really feeling all of this inside her as she was on Cathedral. And she said to me, as we were headed down the mountain, she said, you know what? When I felt that, and I wanted to say those words, I said to myself, it's their design. It's their design, it's their alignment. I'm going to let them have it. And that will be the biggest win. Because what we're doing is we're leaving, we've left. We're leaving, we've left. Yes. The way we've processed the reality lines around us that don't feel as if they are in alignment with us. We've left the way we interpret them. Yes. But that means we have also walked ourselves into a space where we must now engage our new interpretation. And only you can design it. And only you can design yours your way. We can't design another for someone else. We may give guidance, we may be a sounding board, but at the end of the day, it is theirs to lay out, and it is ours to allow. Does this make sense?
That's exactly the healing at home I was talking about.
Beautiful, beautiful. So this is another level. This is when anybody at any time, you or someone close to you, has a space where it feels as if it's an old echo, an old energy, a timeline I no longer align with. If that comes in any way, you remind yourself, this is my confirmation of I'm living in a different field. Look at the new field. Take the eyes off of the old field, even if the mind is still very used to going there because it holds a muscle memory or an echo or some type of connection point to it, and allow that new flow. So we see and we register the other fields and the frequencies around us, and we maintain and expand our personal network. Did you ever think of your energy as a network? A network of energy. Yes. And your network of energy connects in with grid lines, ley lines, connection points all throughout all the fields of alignments. And where you hold your presence, where I hold my presence, where we hold our presence, yes, amplifies that network. Yes. So we allow the other flow states without judgments, and this means that we're not within them and they are not feeding on our energy. Because that is how the whole system works. So the only way that we leave an experiential field is to no longer engage it. Yes. This is the key to running your higher flow state. This is the key to being the original and being the implementation. Yes. The form. Yes. In flow, the flow within form, in and now, yes, of the divine blueprint laying itself out. Yes. So we release self-doubt, we release self-judgment, we release, and release means to deny it any engagement. It's a good one, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Don't get engaged, do not accept the ring. Just say, nice knowing you, but I really don't want this relationship. I don't think it's balanced. You know, a little enlightenment joke. So remember your space of yourself. Remember your space of yourself. I am higher flow and form. I bless my form and allow myself to reset to my higher frequencies. I run the light. And I heal, clear, and reset the darkness with the compassion and gratitude. Frequency keepers run this understanding. Frequency keepers are working in and as a shift of the field that has nothing to do with the physical spaces of the field. It's trippy weird because we've been raised our whole lives to engage at a physical level. If you want to help something or shift something or move something, you get engaged in it at a physical level. And what we're doing is we're realizing the power that lies within the engagement in the field itself, holding more power and more impact on the physical. Doesn't mean you have to not do anything in the world and help and be compassionate and a part of that space, but be mindful of if it is in any way you separating yourself out from your higher flow state and engaging a outer space of you more than an inner space of you. Does this make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
You are at this point.
Yes.
Yes. You are at this point engaging, yes, an entirely new level of experiential existence.
Yes.
It is a dimensional shift.
Yes.
You are living in and are the flow of.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. You are living in and are the flow of
Yes.
a higher dimensional field of existence.
Yes.
If you allow, if you trust, if you engage, implement
Yes.
this understanding of yourself, it will show up in your world because you've allowed it and anchored it and engaged it within your being,
Yes.
your vessel, your format. Yes, this experiential field of existence, the ancestors are whole. We must allow ourselves to see them this way. Does this make sense to you? Because we viewed them for a very long time in the spaces of their pain.
Yes.
And it is now time to allow ourselves and them to be seen in the spaces of their wholeness.
Yes.
As we have learned to stop engaging the alignments of ourselves in our separate vibration or our brokenness, we must also allow them the opportunity to be seen and felt and registered in their wholeness. Does this make sense to you?
Yes. Yes.
There is so much joy.
Yes.
There is celebratory joy
Yes.
and love where the ancestors are,
Yes.
where the lineages, the connection points are. There is peace and there is joy,
Yes.
and they are safe and they are loved, and they honor that which was done to assist the movement of the energy into a clarity, into a space of itself in which wholeness
Yes.
returned.
Yes. Yes.
Does this make sense to you? There are many who are returning to this planet and to its field. Yes, and they are only able to do so because the frequencies are moving into the alignment in which they can, yes, exist in and be in this space. And the only way that they can and not cause harm is when the fear has reached a level of healing, which it has.
Yes.
Are you able individually to see in your own knowing, your own fears that in one way or another, small, large, somewhere in between, healed this weekend?
Yes.
Some space of fear, some space of judgment.
Yes.
That is the shift of consciousness. That is how they come home, you know, when the field holds a frequency that can sustain them. And the human collective is in a space of itself in which it can,
Yes.
allow the contact without the fear. Is it completely removed? No. Will there be some who may not process?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We allow the design. We hold no attachment to it, and we choose joy. Not in a way in which we are unaware of anyone else's trial, tribulation, pain, suffering, loss. We are aware, we hold compassion, but we understand to hold joy and to anchor peace is more assistant to them than to amplify their pain. We must be the frequency keeper, please.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you for allowing this movement of you.
Yes.
Kirsten has been to many of these spaces, and she has seen these spaces evolve and change and expand and grow. And she said to me, as we came down Cathedral Rock, this is the most grounded group we have ever had. And it would make sense, would it not, that we would reach a space, you've seen a lot of these spaces as well, Janet, Kate. Would you agree with that, knowing this is a very grounded group? And it would make sense that every single group along the way played a part and a role valuable beyond measure. And those that designed and aligned this space to be this part of it were at a frequency, were at a space of themselves that would be able to bring it home.
Yes.
Welcome home, Holy One. Welcome home. So, yes, we are ever expanding, and this journey is so incredibly fascinating. And even though we are sealing a space and closing a space in a sense, I will allow, if you will, we've only just begun. Had to work hard to hit that one with no lead in, okay? But we have so much more fun. We have so much more fun to do. So many, I know Bonnie Moore on here, she reached out at one point and she told me her and another dear one have been in there knowing for a while now, traveling to spaces, to places. Cindy, you've been doing this as well. You just go. You don't really know a specific why, but you just go. And many of you may have also been doing this. But we've begun this incredible engagement of an alignment of higher light flowing within a now, expanding itself out for all the connection points that are ready to go and breathe and truly activate into
Yes.
an awakening of their being. Not knowing what each space was asking of us, but going, being. And when you get there, you just go, okay, yeah. And you just do, you just be, you just are the space. And wonderful things happen. We got out of our heads and we got into our hearts.
Yes.
And we show up and we allow and we trust. And when we ran the energies on Bell Rock last year and this year, and we ran them through the opening just out here, all the way up to the south rim of the canyon, the north rim of the canyon, Utah, all the way up into Montana. Those energies are clearing ley lines, grid lines, resetting sacred sites, activating spaces of energetic flow in the Earth's systems that are connected with origin points of humanity. The histories that are untold, you know. And this is how that vibration gets to be brought back. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So when Bonnie was going and doing, that was assisting the alignments of the energies to be able to come back on.
Yes.
And Cindy and Madeline and Janet Kay and all of us that have been going and doing and being. There was one of the videos I made for the sessions. You know how I do the session notes for the course space? And sometimes I get a little artsy. Did you notice? Yeah, I like my artsyism. So I felt into the space. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? As I'm making the video, I already have my notes, but I want to put it in a video format and I want to add music and all. And so I could hear in my being and see in my being how there used to be these bells all over the planet. And they were used to assist with the frequency of the planet. And I've read somewhere along the way, but not like where I researched it and could tell you where to go, where they started finding them, like they started unearthing these incredible bells all over the planet. Kind of like the pyramids. Have you heard about that as well? They keep finding pyramids on continents and spaces that they're like, oh, there's no pyramids here, you know, there were no people here doing that. So it's kind of like that, but this is that history that's starting to surface, right? So when I made the video, I could see the bells in my head. So I said, how do I bring the bells in? How do I bring the bells in? And it was like, ring the bell. And then I didn't even put it together. We were going to Bell Rock. We were going to Bell Rock. And so it had another connection there, you know? So the bells at the beginning of that video, symbolizing a clearing frequency, being available to all the alignments, the grids, the ley lines. And they're so layered because there's been a lot of resets. There's been a lot of work done throughout massive spaces of humanity. And so when you're working with that understanding, the template then becomes
Yes.
like a 10-story building.
Yes.
And it's all one energy, it's all one connection, but it's got incremental flow spaces that in many cases they're inactive or dormant. And some were purposefully shut off. And then some shut themselves off to protect themselves.
Yes.
And they still exist, they're still doing and being in their alignment. But they know what we're doing.
Yes.
And they're aware of the others that are doing it as well. and they are hopeful for the day when they can come back on.
Yes.
So that's another really cool thing, isn't it? Is that fascinating? Okay, so we've only just begun. I don't know for sure if I'll be back in Sedona with this exact layout. This is year 9. And something told me before I came,
Yes.
don't we love the phrase something? Something told me before I came that this would be a completion of sorts. It wouldn't be done, because there's always more to allow ourselves to lean in, listen to, and be available for. But there would be a completion of sorts. But I can already see shifts and movements of it. And I see many of you stepping up and into spaces of organizing, and like this branches out more. Does this make sense? To the ones that feel aligned to do so, okay? We're talking, international, like get this more organized to assist these spaces. I think that's where we're headed. So I'll be putting the feelers out. So get ready for an email, and you can decide how you fall in on this, where and what you want to do. But we're growing, we're evolving, we're expanding our availability as we're expanding our understanding. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So I'm not stopping traveling, hear me out. I've just got understandings of this thing getting bigger, going more places, and having this be more available to more people, and having others that want to step into assisting with that as well, helping to coordinate. So maybe you could all hold that alignment with me and just bless it, that whatever is optimal for humanity and all consciousness is what we seek.
Yes.
And we will see you on the next gathering. We're going to do something together on Zoom when I get home, okay? And we can talk more. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye-bye.